Alright, this is O52 Notes, Domain and Range, and Vertical Line Test. Your objective, you'll be able to find the domain and range in a given graph or set of data. You'll also determine if the set of data passes the vertical line test. So let's jump right into it here. This is our data. We have the coordinates for -5, -5, 2, -2, 0, -1, 5, -5, 7. Our domain just refers to their x values, so that means 4 is an x value, -5 is an x value, -2 is an x value, -1 is an x value, and -5 is an x value. So a domain, you set the right amount. So the numbers are 4, -5, -2, -1, and then -5 repeats itself. So that's the domain. This is the list of the x values. The range is the list of the y values. -5 is a y value, 2 is a y value, 0 is a y value, 5 is a y value, and 7 is a y value. So then we list out the y values. So we got -5, 2, 0, 5, and 7. So that's the set of the range, all the y values. Alright, and that's all I'm looking for here with this data set. So let's do another one. Whoop. So we got 7, -6, -2, -3, -3, 1, -7, -7, and 6, 1. The domain refers once again to the x values. So that's an x value, that's an x value. It's always the first number in the coordinate is our x values. So then we list our domain. So we have 7, -2, -3, -7, and 6. The range is the y values. So -6, -3, 1, -7, and 1. So we write that out. -6, -3, 1, -7, and 1. That's the range. Alright, so you see 1 repeats itself, so that's why 1's only listed once. Alright. Let's do one last one of this type. So you know the first number in the x values, or the first number in the coordinate, is the x values. The second number in the coordinate, you know, is the y values. So domain is our x values, so 7, 3, -1, -6, and 6. Sometimes it's good to list them from least to greatest, but you don't have to. Range, -1, -7, 6, 8, and -8. So that's domain and range. There's your answer. Why don't you try this one on your own? See if you could do it. There's your answer. Why don't you try this one on your own? Hit the pause button. There's your answer. Try this one. Here's your answer. And there's your answer for that one. Alright. So I can fast forward a little bit. Let's get to here. Our goal here is to determine, is this line that's graphed, is it a function or not a function? Now we could tell if it's a function or not by this test called the vertical line test. That is, if I could draw a vertical line at any place on that graph, whether it be here, 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 that vertical line is going to hit that graph line in only one spot. If it only hits at one spot, if the vertical line crosses the graphed line in only one spot, the graphed line is a function. If it hits in multiple spots, so that one vertical line hits this function in multiple spots, then it's not a function. So in this case, you could see if I graph the vertical line here, it only hits it in one spot. If I graph the vertical line here, our blue line function hits the red vertical line test only once. So that means it's yes, it is a function. Let's try another one. So we got this graph right here. We do a vertical line test. I see the function only hits the red line once there. If I graphed the vertical line test there, it only hits once there, only hits once here, only hits once here. So this is also yes. It passes the vertical line test. It only hits the function once, so yes, it is a function. We try this one. We draw in our vertical line. Right there. Same story. It only crosses once, no matter where I draw that vertical line test. So it means yes, it's a function. Now looking at this picture here, if I had to do the vertical line test, if I draw my vertical line here, we see that the function doesn't even hit the red line. Pardon me. However, if I move the vertical line test here, the function only hits it once. However, if I move that red line here, the vertical line hits the function in two spots, once here and once here. Because it hits it twice, that means this graph blue line here is not a function, so that'll be no. It's not a function. Not a function. So not a function. Alright, look, sometimes our lines can be a little funky, like you see here. We have a blue squiggly line. So I draw my vertical line. I'm going to draw it right here. I see that this red line only crosses the blue line once. It only crosses the function once. I move that line a little bit here. Up, it only hits once. If I move it on the other side, it only hits once. However, if I go up and down, if I make that line even a little skinnier, might be easier to see. So I got my vertical line. You can see it hits the function in multiple spots. So this one is no, not a function. See if you can figure out on your own, is this one a function or not a function? Draw my vertical line. Draw it right here. I'll also go here. I'm going to go here. I see that it hits twice. So no, it's not a function. You're looking at this one. Once again, a vertical line test goes through 2 of them, so this is no. Not a function. Our last one. If something looks like this. Pardon me. Only hits the function once. Once there, once there, once there. So since it only hits once, when I do my vertical line test, that means yes, it is a function. Classwork and homework. Your classwork is 052 CW1, domain and range, vertical line test, and your homework is 052 HW1, domain and range, vertical line test. Alright, if you have any questions, feel free to email me or come next show. I'll be happy to help you out. Alright, have yourself a good night.